So here's the test of my new 12 voice polyphonic synth, although I've only got 6 voices connected at the moment because I've only built one voice card. This is the actual physical controller, which is buttons and encoders with LEDs display. There's going to be 10 more displays across the top here to show all the parameters, and that basically is connected underneath to a little daughter board with a teensy 4.1 on board and some MIDI chips. That's just some logic, and that all talks over I2C to these MCP 23017s. There's 14 of them. I've modified the standard Adafruit library to support multiple I2C buses, so you can have 3 banks of 8 instead of just the normal 8 which you get with the standard library. So 3 banks of 8. It works multi-timbrally. You've got split mode, whole mode, dual mode. In whole mode, it'll actually try and send 6 notes to the other synth, which are not there at the moment. So that's dual mode, where it's actually sending 6 notes to this board, 6 notes to the other board. If I put it in whole mode, it'll send 6. And every other one's disappearing off the board. If I go to poly 1 mode, poly 2 mode, they all appear on the first board, so that's good for portamento, which you've got here. There's a glide setting there for up and lower. So you've got DCO1, DCO2, this has got a super saw with a saw detuner, saw count up to 5 oscillators, and oscillator output. Sorry, my voice is going really badly. There's an arpeggiator section here which isn't programmed up at all. It's just doing nothing at the moment, so I need to write an arpeggiator for this. This is a programming section where you just save your patches. DCO1, DCO2, you've got triangle on DCO2 instead of a sub, and you've got standard saw, pulse dry, interval detune, pulse width modulation, and envelope pulse width modulation. Each DCO here has got 2 LFOs on board and an envelope generator, so you can actually use the envelope to modulate the pulse width or modulate the pitch of the DCO, so you can do synchronization. You've got hard and soft sync settings, and each DCO outputs DCO1 and DCO2 on left and right outputs of these sound cards, which then go into the AS372E filters, which are set up in pole mixing configurations, which is hence why all the resistors here and the 4051s, which are used to select the pole. So you've got 16 filter combinations. They all come down to a mono mix down here, which then goes up into the FV1 chip, and that gives you, with 3 extra EEPROMs, that gives you 32 algorithms of effects processing, including phasers, flanges, delays, reverbs, etc., chorus effects. So basically I've grouped it as sort of like echo effects, reverby effects, rotary effects, and then the internal bank of 8. So effectively you get 32, and you can select the banks here. This is a bank select button, this is a effect select button. You've got 3 pots for the effects variations, and 1 pot here which is the mix between wet and dry. And then this one, this is a little addition I decided on today. Basically if you're in a rotary effect, or anything that uses a pot 3 as a rotary effect, if you push this, it will change the speed from slow to fast and then fast to slow again. So effectively you can use for speed up and slowing down the flanger. The Leslie effect, which I normally do on a foot switch, but I thought why not have it on the front panel as well. So you've got both foot switch input, MIDI input and a front panel button. Here you've got LFO1, which has got rate, slope and delay with a wave select. LFO2, which is for the PWM, that's just got a rate and a wave because your depths are over here. LFO3, which is a physical hardware LFO, which is on the board here. It's an electric Druid tap LFO3. It's got rate, delay, wave with 16 waveforms, a multiplier with up to from 0.5 to 2 in 0.5 variations, and then a retrigger button which allows you to retrigger the delay. I think there's also a retrigger of the delay for the LFO1, but I don't think I've implemented it yet, so I might have to add another button on there. This is like a modulation section. You've got your FM depth, your aftertouch depth, pitch bend range, mod wheel depth, amplitude modulation depth, and a volume control. This is ADSR 2 and 3, which are physical ADSRs on this board. There's 12 of them here, sorry, and that's it. Electric Druid ones, and again you've got Lin log settings, velocity settings and looping settings on these. This is envelope 1. Might look a bit sparse because I haven't decided what to do with it yet, but that effectively controls the envelopes in these. I need to add an envelope depth to it and a couple of buttons to say whether the envelope goes to the pulse width modulation. I haven't decided whether I need them yet or just depth controls are enough. This is a filter section. You've got 2 filter drives for filter input 1, filter up to 2, cutoff, res, envelope, key track, which for some reason at the moment is doing FM modulation, but that's just because I probably haven't set it up properly yet. The LFO input, and this is the noise source, which basically varies the amount of noise you get. Now, I've got a physical noise source on here, which is a noise 2 chip, and that goes into a VCA, but it also goes to a 4053 switch, and that allows me to switch between pink and white noise. Forgot I'd done that. Normally I just have 2 noise sources and use the VCAs to select them and a balance in the middle of 0, but I didn't do that this time. Must be because I was trying to save space on here. So I need to put another button here, which will be dual LED, and that'll be white and pink noises on this position. So that's another missing button. So as this is in development, and I'd forgotten nearly everything I did on this. In fact, it didn't work properly till about half an hour ago when I modified the amplitude modulation section to make it work. There was no noise out of it at all. So that's now working, but for some reason now my effects have gone off, and I don't know why, so I need to dig into that. The effects were working yesterday when I was testing it with just probing, and now the effects are dead. If I play something and then turn the effects fully wet, it's dead. No sound. Turn it fully dry. You've got sound. So there's something wrong with the effects section which I haven't worked out. I've spent the afternoon labelling all these chips up so I know where the signals are going. I've got to do the effects section next, but I'll do that and I'll work out why I've lost my effects. Could be because I've actually programmed all these pots and buttons up and I just haven't done them right, and I'm sending some strange signals to the effects processor. I don't know. I've got to work that out. I normally use this MIDI analyzer which I built. I normally have that in line. I break this connection and plug this into here, and it tells me what messages I'm sending to the board, which is useful for debugging because I can instantly see on the display here what MIDI messages I'm sending. And that's about it. What I didn't do before, because my wife was shouting me from the basement, was I had to keep her in there for good luck, is I didn't play you any of the sounds. So here's a little chord. Very simple. That's sawtooth. That's a unison sound. Single pulse with modulated sound. There we go. I'll probably program more sounds in, that's just all there is at the moment. There's still a lot of debugging to do in the assigner, and I think the portamento is actually a bit broken as well, the DCO, so I need to fix that. It should glide to its destination, and it seems to stop when you take your finger off, which is not good, and so I need to fix that.